And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Today we're going to take a look at the game Pastiche. This is Pastiche, the International Edition. I've already reviewed Pastiche, and I'm not going to talk just about the changes in this game. This is just a whole brand new review for people checking out this game. So you might see some similarities, but it also might be interesting to see how my opinion has changed since the first time I played Pastiche was about a year ago. I think that Pastiche is one of the best family games of 2011. I still think that. In fact, it probably has my vote for the best family game. I like it. It's neat. It has a good theme. Am I giving my opinion before the review? I am. So let's get to the review, and we'll be right back. Pastiche has a really big board, but this board is really just a placeholder for the different cards that are on the board. There's different cards of different colors. You can see red, green, blue, magenta, scarlet, white, gray, amber, bisque, brown, yellow, olive, etc. And it's a really nice way to hold the cards. And then we have a whole pile of paintings. I mean, there is a giant stack of paintings that comes with the game, and each of these paintings is going to require, it shows a famous painting from history. And then this one needs magenta, red, orange, purple, and gray. Those are the colors that are needed for it, and it's worth 15 points, while something simpler, like the Pfeiffer, only needs yellow, scarlet, and black, and it's worth 9 points. Here we have the rest, which needs violet, olive, teal, brown, and white. So different cards need different amounts of colors to paint them. And the board is actually this hex here. At the beginning of the game, each player is going to have 2 hexes, and on your turn, you can play one of these hexes on the board. So let's say, for example, I play this hex here. When I do that, I can play it anywhere I want. When I do it, I have one of 2 options. I can take yellow, because I played the middle here is yellow, or I can take the secondary colors that this forms. Now, this doesn't actually form any secondary colors, so that's a really terrible one to play there. Let's play it over here. Here, I play the card, and let's take a closer look at it. You can see that I put a red next to a blue, and according to my chart here, a red and blue gets me a violet. Yay! And then I have a red next to a yellow. Once again, I look at my chart, and I see that gives me an orange. Of course, any kid could tell me that. And then I have 2 reds and a blue, which over here gives me magenta. And so you can see the different combinations that you get will get you different colors. Now, once I do that, I'll take those cards from the bank and put them in my hand. So, what did I just get? I got an orange, I got a magenta, and I got a violet, which is a wonderful name, by the way. So I get these 3 cards, and then I can trade cards with other players if I want to. I can even trade cards with the bank, which I might need to do because you need to trade 3 cards of any color, of any of the same color, to get white and black, as it says here in the cards. And some of the colors are harder to get, like, for example, gray and bisque. Gray needs black and white, bisque needs brown and yellow to put those together. To get the primary cards, the only way to get those red, yellow, and blue cards is by either placing it down like this and saying, I want yellow, which is in the middle. Although you can say, I want red or blue, your choice when you put that one down. Or you can trade a primary color in from your hand. I say, I'm going to trade this red in for a blue, but I have to get rid of another color while I'm at it. So there's a lot going on and a lot of trading with other players. And then each person is going to have 2 of these easels, which are really nice, by the way. They sit there and they hold the paintings very easily in front of you. These are paintings you're trying to do, but there's also going to be a few paintings in the middle of the table that players can try to complete. And you can even say, I'm putting this one in the middle of the table and I'm going to take this because this is only one that only I can do. And if I have the colors, let's say, for example, I have beige and black, or bisque and black, I can play those, and then I paint this painting, and I put it in front of me. It's now a painting that I've done, and I'll get a new painting that I'll try to complete to put on my easel. This will continue. Players will be, they'll draw a new tile at the end of their turn. They have to go down to 8 cards, so there's no real card hoarding as the turns go by. But most of the game is just by putting cards down, getting the colors, trading those colors away, trying to paint the paintings. After that's all been done and over with, the game will end when someone has enough paintings out that are worth a certain amount of points. Like, for example, in a 4-player game, as soon as someone gets to 35 points, the game will end. Any unused cards that you have in your hand will get you a few points, and players will possibly get some points if they have paintings by the same painter. For example, here, Mary Cassett has painted both of these paintings here, and if I have both of them in front of me, then I'm going to get a bonus because I have paintings by the same painter. So you add up all those points, plus any bonus points, plus any points you have from cards left over, and the player with the most points is the winner. I also wanted to mention that the rulebook here has an introduction to colors. It talks about color and explains how color works. It's a pretty neat thing, and the whole game has a very almost educational look to it, although it's not really an educational game, it's just fun. As I was saying, I really like Pastiche. I think it's neat. The board with the palette of colors and everyone taking colors, putting them together, making paintings. I mean, it really does have some educational benefit. I can see art classes using this. There's a lot of good that's involved in Pastiche, and the gameplay is fun. Now, what's interesting is I noticed a lot with the trading in Pastiche. There's trading of cards, and that's one thing I like Settlers of Catan and other games where you trade these cards. However, I've noticed in some groups, people don't trade cards much. They simply put down the tiles, they get the colors they need, they'll trade with the bank, and that is possible to fall into a group that doesn't do much trading. And I hope it doesn't, because to me that adds another level to the game. I do like in this version they added the wooden easels, which are really nice, and they just look nice with the paintings on them. They added extra paintings. There's a lot more paintings in this version than there was in the original game. And so it's just a nicer version. The box is a little bit bigger to fit all these things in, but Eagle Games is really doing Gryphon Games is really doing a fantastic production value these days. So this is one I think that almost everybody should have on their shelves. It's a great family game, wonderful, completely inoffensive theme that's going to go over very well. Pastiche.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find the latest board game news at Dicetowernews.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Fun Again Games, the world's best game source. Fun Again Games has over 5,000 games available. Check them out at funagain.com.